right, we will definitely be getting back to the surfboard stuff. Yesterday, Saturday, we had a garage sale. And what was funny is my wife, she's in charge of that stuff. You know, we got the tables out and everything like that. Everything was out on the driveway out there. We had the tables and the boxes and all the stuff that we were selling out there. What was fun though is when someone would recognize, oh, you got slot cars? You could instantly see them turn back into kids. It was absolutely a blast. You know, and people, they couldn't stay. They wanted to hit all the garage sales. So they're having fun, buying stuff, and also playing slot cars. And again, it was very, very, very fun, enlightening. I had a blast showing some people, you know, the old slot cars. Plus, there's a couple of kids that came up, very nice kids, and they were looking at the track and they were oohing and eyeing and whatnot. And so I said, come here. I gave them the controller and I showed them how to do it. I said, you know, you press that, you make it go around. So the sister, she started doing it, but I could tell her older brother wanted to do it as well. So I set him up and he was on the inside lane and they just had a great time. They had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Okay, recently, one of my viewers said, hey, listen, he had a little trepidation as far as taking apart and getting a Thunderbike to work again. And I was just running them. I was running the trike there. That used to be a quad. I made it back into a trike. I just like the single wheel up front. And I was running this. It runs, but it's time to be clean. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to take this apart and hopefully not lose any of the pieces and get it cleaned up and running smooth. Just for fun, let's see how it does before we clean it up. It sounds a little dry to me. It really does. And the thing about the Thunderbikes, you can open them up on the straightaway a little bit, but my God, any cornering or turning, you have really got to back off. They're so top heavy, you know what? And I don't think anybody's made a belly pan for them, so they're really, really top heavy. All right, let's get into it. When you first address the Thunderbike, what I like to do is I like to get the handlebar off. And I've got the little tiny screwdriver here, and I'll just put it right there, and then I push, and then that handlebar comes off. I'm gonna need 2 hands to do this. It only took a sec. Again, I just pushed it through, and it's almost out there. Yeah, there you go. Now the guy's off. Quite frankly, I don't need to take the bar completely out. You just don't. And well, I don't know. I might wash that. Who knows? Take the bar out all the way. We'll see. Now the gas tank should just come off. It should just, and there it is. There it is. Should just come off. We have 2 clamps here. There's one in the front to hold the forks together and everything. That's tiny. That's a tiny one. Then we have this bigger clamp. Again, let me use 2 hands. I'll get those off. Both the clamps are off. Very easy to do that. Now that idler gear will, I bet you'll just flop out. Yeah, there you go. And the front tire now, and the headlight and the fender there, the rim there, they just about fall out. Yeah, they do. And the front tire, again, let me do 2 hands. And also the guide pin will come out. Be mindful of that. Got both the front and back tires out of there. The fender off, the clamps, all that. I just started prying it apart, and I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, but it looks, I don't know, this is hard to do with 1 hand. It looks just like the normal T-Jet chassis guts when I get it apart here. There you go. You can see the magnets and the brushes in there, and comp plate. Not too bad. Not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and get the magnets out. I'll get the brushes out. I'll clean everything up, and we'll reassemble it, oil it, and hopefully it'll be running a little bit smoother. So let me go ahead and grab the magnets, get them out of there. All right, get everything disassembled there. Now, regarding the back tires, if these tires are 60 years old, I don't want to say I'm going to guarantee you want to throw them away, but the likelihood of them being good is very, very minimal. There's a couple of guys, one of my viewers, Walter, he started making these tires from washers, and he sent me a few, and they're absolutely wonderful. And I think, who else is making them off the top of my head? I think, rather boring on eBay, started to make them. So if you need replacement tires, they're out there, guys. They're absolutely out there. Now, the brushes, I was looking at them just a bit ago. They look like they're good size, but my God, they're filthy. They're just absolutely filthy. All right, let me do this. I'm going to get the Dremel, get the wire brush, and start cleaning this stuff up. Just started in with the wire brush, the Dremel there, and boy, that back gear there, that doesn't spin worth hardly anything. And the front one there, yeah, it spins, but I really don't know when the last time I had this has been properly oiled. Getting after it though. I was just taking the wire Dremel to the shoes there. Also, I did touch the brush springs there. You want to just go ahead and make sure that they're clean. If they got any carbon or oil on them, get it off so that it makes a much better connection. Now, the brushes, you guys know I clean those just like that. Just like that. Flip it over. I don't think I flipped it over. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And you can literally feel it. You can feel it on the paper, and it might be hard to see, but that one is much, much, much shinier than the one I haven't touched yet. Let's see if we can get this one better. I mean, it's just that easy. It is just that easy. And look at that. Look at that. Wow. Okay. See if I can get it. Other side of it. Flip it over. See what we got. Yeah. Both sides on both of them are good. And look at what we got off. Look at the mess that we got off. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to start. There's really not much to do as far as cleaning it. I've got the gears cleaned. They're re-oiled. The bottom of the comp plate there, that's done. That's done. I've got the brushes clean. Just for fun, I'm probably going to take the wire brush to the clamps there just to make them look good. Just to make them look good. You guys know I like to oil as I reassemble. Here's a caution though. You see the back gear here? That's the one that articulates with the back tires there. Don't over oil it. Do not over oil it. The last thing you want is oil getting on the rubber there. Well, when we were kids, we would do that on purpose. We dip the tires in oil, WD-40, where the hell we had, and yeah, that was fun. But that's going to lessen the life of the rubber there. So use caution. Just a little technique that I've developed over the years doing this. When you get it apart, yes, that's one thing. But when you're reassembling, you got to keep the brushes where they need to be and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And there's four little pegs. There's four little pegs that have to be lined up with the four little holes here on this part. Okay, now here's the tricks of the trade. When you're going to do this step, you see how I'm angling it? I'm getting it around that spring for the shoe there. I'm tipping it up, and then I'll set it in place. Once again, I need two hands. Now, once you've got it together, you're going to want to put at least one of the clamps on to hold it together. And the engine stem there, don't forget to oil that as well. Now, even where the back wheel goes in, you want to oil that. But again, that gear there, that back gear, yeah, you want some, but not a bunch. Not a bunch. Not a bunch. Okay, very good. I got the back clamp on there. I'm going to go ahead and go for the front clamp, because if you've got the light in the fender, and if you've got the front wheel on there, it's not as easy to get that clamp on. So I'm going to put the front one on next. Let's rewind a bit. Instead of the front clamp, which I did put on a second ago, get that guide pin in there. Reason being is you got to pry both halves of the chassis apart just a little bit to get the guide pin in. And if the front clamp is in the way there, or it's on, it's too tight to do that. So again, I apologize. I rewound just a little bit, and now I'm going to put the front clamp in. I got that guide pin in, so now's a good time to get that clamp on. Front clamp is in place. Just for fun. Yeah, sounds fast too, liking it. Pick up speed just a little bit. Getting warmed up. Yeah, I like that. All right, front and back tires gonna go on the gas can and the light fender thing. Then I'll go ahead and put the handlebar back through the guy's fingers, and that will be last. So with both the front and back clamps on, able to get the tires on, able to get the fender on with the light there, and obviously the gas tank. So don't worry about putting the clamps on last or anything like that, because you can get those things in. You can again, the fender with the light there, I don't even want to say it was fussy. You just push it back and it snaps in place. I just thought of it. I put this on the track a second. I just thought of it. I didn't wash the driver. He's not filthy, but I had a presence of mind to do that earlier, and I just didn't do it. Get up there. There you go. Well, again, on cornering and turning, you gotta take it easy. I wanted to hit the juice right there. You know, you just want to make it scream sometimes. But if it's cornering and it's that darn top heavy, that's just not going to work. You know, it's just not going to work. Now, one of the reasons, as far as cornering and everything, that's why I really like the trike. I do, because it's got the stable back end there. Come on, you can go. I don't think I put it on right. Yeah, look at that. Look at it. It just takes off. Takes right off. And the cornering, so much easier. You don't have to namby-pamby slow it down or anything. That's got some juice. Now, I think this one, if I'm not mistaken, does have the neodymiums on it. You can put the neodymium magnets on the back magnet and the front magnet, and you'll get much increased performance with your Thunderbikes. But if you don't have the stable back end, it's gonna tip. And right between the gear, it's hard to see. But I've got a couple of neodymium magnets right there, and then I also have some right behind, again, it's not easy to see, right behind the front tire there. You can put a couple of them there and they'll just self-adhere, and then you can put a couple of them in the back there and they'll just self-adhere. And they give the, look at it, they give the Thunderbikes a lot of extra juice. But if you don't have a wide back end, or like the quad that I had, when I turned this into the quad, they're difficult to run. They really are. When they are so top heavy and so, I don't want to say baseless, but without a broad base, they're tough to run, guys. Now, if you're doing a drag and it's just straight, God bless you, fine. You run them all day. But when you have to do tight turns and stuff with these, I don't want to say it's miserable, but it's not the funnest thing. All right, well, I had a blast giving this the spa treatment, getting it all cleaned up and oiled and everything like that. I was editing the video, and there's a picture of the video where it's upside down, and it just struck me. You see the little eyelets from the rivets? Keep that in mind. I was earlier in the video saying, hey, listen, no, it's made of belly pan, right? Well, I got some neodymium magnets, and they're very tiny. I'm considering this, and I want your guys' feedback. What do you think? If I glued a neodymium magnet on each one of those rivets, do you think it would be like, sort of like magnet traction? So it wouldn't fall over? And you guys know how I feel about the magnet traction. If you can race your car straight up a wall upside down, that's a little too grippy for me. I always like the drifting. So my consideration again was put some neodymium magnet on each of the eyelets. Guys, again, let me know what you think. Answer in the comment, email me, either one. But let me know what you think. And by next video, if I'm going to do this, I'll let you know. What I found out. All right, as I always say, if you need anything, let me know, guys. I am here for you. I had a ball this weekend with the Thunderbikes. Can't wait to talk to you soon. See ya.